balanced part of our portfolio, specifically Soupy Noodles, actions are underway to step up growth. Quality was sustained its double-digit growth performance, albeit this being a relatively smaller quarter for the ice cream category. Finally, our water business, Pureit. This business has grown very well in a challenging environment. The consumer durables market is seeing signs of slowdown. We have been strengthening our portfolio over the last several quarters. During this quarter, we made another entry into the premium UV segment with the launch of Marvella UV. In the previous quarters, we had launched a reverse osmosis offering that continues to do well, and the Pureit Advanced, which also was launched a couple of quarters back, is gaining strong consumer franchise. We continue to leverage IT to drive front-end execution to drive growth of our Pureit business. Just to share with you the financial performance in some detail and also help you to look at the numbers in a comparable manner, given that our base results included the FMCG exports business, which has since been spun off into 100% subsidiary. So on a comparable basis, our sales have grown by about 17%, margins are up 80 basis points, and PAT-BEI up 27%. So summary of this would be a robust performance in our domestic consumer business, accompanied with healthy margin expansion. As many of you have requested, thought we'll share with you the details of how our operating profit translates to net profit. Other income that's reflected here is your income from our financial investments, interest income, dividend income, etc. And the significant increase that you see there is a reflection of the substantial increase in our cash base. As far as exceptional items are concerned, we had 44 crores in the base, but a much smaller amount in this quarter. Tax has increased much higher than our profit increase, which is consistent with the increase in tax rate that we've talked to you about. As we mentioned in previous occasion, the effective tax rate for this year is estimated to be somewhere between 24 and 25%. As a consequence, net profit increased by 17% in this quarter. So in summary, I think we would describe this quarter as delivering robust business results with a strong 16% growth in our domestic consumer business, underpinned by strong 7% underlying volume growth, margin expansions of about 100 basis points on a reported basis, and PAT-BEI growing by 23%. With this, we believe that our strategy, which we've talked to you earlier about, is on track and delivering results. Since this period also means that we've completed half year of this financial year, we thought we'd just share with you a summary of our first half financial performance. And as you can see on the chart coming up on your screen now, we are delivering on our goals of delivering competitive growth, consistent growth, and profitable growth. Our growth in aggregate is ahead of market. It has a good mix of volume and price, and we have expanded our margin by 140 basis points, albeit on a soft base. As we pointed out earlier, the prior year, particularly June quarter of 2011 and also a little bit of September quarter of 2011 had a benefit in terms of lower base of operating margin, but we now believe the recovery is complete. Sharing with you the financial results with the comparability of what the results would be taking into account the demerger of our FMCG exports. You can see that our top line growth is about 18%, operating margin improvement about 120 basis points, and a strong PAT-BEI growth of about 38%. The reported numbers, of course, are slightly different. So in summary, competitive, consistent, and profitable growth. Earlier, during the day, the Board of Directors reviewed and approved the results and also declared interim dividend. The Board has decided on an interim dividend of ₹4.50 per share, which compares with 3.50 per share for the financial year ending March 12. The interim dividend, along with the dividend distribution tax, will result in an outflow of ₹1,130 crores. At the same time, the board, in addition to the interim dividend, also declared a special dividend of rupees 8 per share. This has been declared taking into account the strong track record of profit growth and cash generation, as also looking at the healthy position of our balance sheet in terms of reserves and cash. The 8 rupee special dividend will result in a total outflow, including dividend distribution tax, of rupees 2,010 crores. Just to close, a few words on what is our perspective of the environment looking ahead. As we've said on various occasions earlier, the medium to long-term growth potential of India from a consumer goods perspective, FMCG perspective, is very positive. The consumer demand drivers, both in terms of size of population, growing income levels, and relatively low per capita consumption, all of these drivers remain intact. Same time, we see opportunities from emerging trends in terms of consumer habits and behaviors. Having said that, we are also conscious that in the near term, the environment will continue to be challenging. Inflationary pressure will be there on consumers, and we are therefore committed to driving our strategy even harder to deliver growth that is competitive, consistent, profitable, and responsible. So with that, I'd like to pass on now to our CEO, Nitin Paranjpe, so that he can share his perspective.
Thank you, Sridhar, and let me also welcome all of you on the call and start off by saying that I'm pleased with our overall performance. We have delivered another quarter of strong volume and healthy margin expansion in what continues to be a challenging environment, and despite a key channel like CSD being severely impacted in the quarter. Against the backdrop of high inflation and continued economic uncertainty, FMCG markets by and large have shown signs of resilience, sustaining levels of double-digit growth, though with signs of volume growth moderating across some of the discretionary categories. And therefore, what satisfies me is the consistency of our performance and the fact that for many quarters now, we've been delivering a quality top line and a healthy bottom line in tandem. It is a sign that we are driving our strategy with greater vigor, that we are doing the things that are right for our consumers and customers, that we are stepping up our innovation and execution, and that we are getting better at managing volatility. At the end, it is all of this which makes us fit to win. Now, many of you have asked questions about what's going to happen to markets in the near term. Now, you've just heard Sridhar talk about the views in the market as we look ahead, and I'd like to get this out of the way so that I can then focus on a few other topics. There is no doubt that the operating environment will continue to be challenging. There will be volatility. Competitive intensity will remain high or even intensify. Inflation could create heightened pressures on household budgets. All of these are for real. Having said that, the fundamentals of consumer demand continue to remain intact, though there could be an odd blip as this trend evolves. We live in a world where VUCA is the new normal, and it is for businesses to accept this and adapt to the new reality. As a business, we are conscious of the near-term concerns and need to find ways to manage and tide over them. We are not overly preoccupied with what happens in the next quarter. I have always maintained that we don't run this business on a quarter-to-quarter basis, and therefore, what is important is that we have a strategy, a clear and a compelling one, which provides a sense of direction and purpose, one which guides us and drives us, which we must remain focused on and implement harder, faster and stronger to win with the consumers in the India of today and importantly in the India of tomorrow. Now, over the last few hours, there have been many of you who have sought certain clarifications. These relate to our personal products growth and to the impact of the CSD budget rationalization on our business. Some of you have even asked whether we can quantify this impact. Now, while I would normally not do this, given the number of you who have asked this question, I will offer my perspective this time. Specifically, CSD accounts for about 6% of our business in totality, with varying contributions at a segment level. The impact of CSD on the quarter's growth is about 120 basis points in volume terms, with the impact substantially more pronounced in the case of personal product segments, almost twice the overall number. The CSD continues to be a large customer for us, and it is clearly a relationship that we value. Therefore, we understand the constraints with which the department has to work and are working closely and partnering with them to build back their business. Now let me come to the other aspect of our performance which you have asked us to comment on, our personal products growth rate. You heard from Sridhar that the PP segment delivered a growth of 12% in the quarter. There are fundamentally three large categories in our PP business, and let me talk to you about each one of them. In skin, let me start with Fair & Lovely, our largest brand. You are aware that we relaunched Fair & Lovely at the end of last quarter. It was a big launch with a new proposition around skin treatment. The relaunch was accompanied with a price increase on the sachets from rupees 7 to rupees 8. And as we see it, the launch has been received well, with strong consumer recall on the new proposition. And while the sales momentum on the tube has been good, as expected, it is taking us some time to stabilize the transition to the higher price in the case of sachets. The transitionary impact on sachet pricing is consistent with our past experience, where it has taken up to a couple of quarters for the pricing to stabilize. As for the rest of the skin portfolio, Pond's, Vaseline and Dove all grew in double digits. The sustained performance of the Pond's portfolio also gives me the confidence that in the journey that we are making to build authority, expertise and capabilities of beauty, we are on course. On hair, I am pleased with the way the category has performed, given the context that you are all aware of. It has been a good quarter with stepped up, broad-based, double-digit growth. There are a range of actions that we've been taking in this category in the recent past. As a result, we now have a portfolio today which is stronger in terms of product and proposition. This quarter has seen a step up in our activity. Clinic Plus was relaunched. The Dove portfolio was expanded. Sunsilk saw new activation on the back of a new campaign. Most importantly, we launched Tresemme during the quarter. Tresemme, as some of you might be aware, was a part of the Alberto Culver business that Unilever acquired about a year ago. The launch of Tresemme in India is a significant milestone since it has been some time since we've launched a new brand in the country. And this is clearly an example how we've acted with speed to leverage the might of the Unilever global portfolio to win locally across markets. I'm excited by the proposition of a salon-like experience that it provides and the strength that it adds to the existing hair portfolio. In oral, we've been taking actions to get back to competitive growth, and it's heartening to see the results that some of our initial actions are beginning to yield. Both the toothpaste brands have grown in double digits this quarter. Of course, one has to recognize that there is more which we need to do, but I'm encouraged by the progress that we are making and the direction in which our performance in this category is headed. Therefore, when I look at our PP business in totality,